Anyone familiar with Australian history will know the names Burke and Wills. They may not have survived their crossing of the continent, but their story has endured for more than 160 years. So, a rare opportunity to gain a new piece of this history is not to be missed.
And in this case, the donor said it's a tinder box which my family believes was used on the Burke and Wills expedition. Very excited about the possibility, but I was interested in the fact that the donor wasn't definite.
So how does the museum verify that this is the real thing?
We have the three pieces of evidence to consider. We have the tinder box itself as a physical object. We have what the donor's telling us. And then here in this case, we have a note as well, which provides some written evidence. We can see straight away from the note that it's very old, and that's a relief. Every part of its materiality is a confirmation that it might be what it seems to be. So the first thing we can say about the tinder box is it certainly is right for the Burke and Wills period. We have a similar tinder box in our collection as well. Other museums also hold tinder boxes of the 19th century, so we're very happy with this.
But can we confirm if Burke and Wills took tinder boxes used to light fires in the days before matches on the journey at all?
The Burke and Wills expedition was part of a trend towards exploration. It started with an idea that the Australian landscape was unknown and that it was terra nullius, that there weren't first peoples throughout Australia, which we now know, of course, was the case. The charge was led by the Royal Society. Of course, the expedition ended in tragedy. And for the Royal Society, I think deeply embarrassing. And nothing speaks of that more loudly than the fact that the Royal Society actually decided not to keep the Burke and Wills collection. So it's actually at the State Library that we find the full richness of the Burke and Wills collection.
The State Library collection includes diaries, maps and artefacts from the expedition, but also the original catalogue of equipment taken by the explorers. The expedition was one of the most expensive in Australia's history and extensively equipped.
And looking at this list here, I see it says tinder box with flint and steel. So 28 of these tinder boxes were brought on the expedition, which is interesting. This confirmation is really helpful, so thank you.
But what about the note that was stored inside the tinderbox?
The note said that it was found by someone called E.C. King in the Sturt Stony Ranges. The first thing is, Sturt Stony Ranges, is that somewhere Burke and Wills went?
The expedition left Melbourne's Royal Park in August 1860, passing through Menindee in New South Wales and Coopers Creek in Queensland. We know that Burke and Wills crossed Sturt Stony Desert, or Ranges as it's referred to in the note, twice, both on the way to and from the Gulf of Carpentaria before they died on the return journey in June 1861. So it is possible that this tinderbox was left behind.
The critical thing about this is that this tinderbox is empty, so it actually had no purpose. And for an expedition that was so oversupplied, realistically there was going to be a trail of detritus along the route.
But how did it come into the possession of the donor's family?
This donor told us that this tinderbox came from her great aunt, a woman called Eileen Underdown, who lived her whole life in Menindee. The question is, who is E.C. King on the note? Who found this, and how is he connected to the Underdowns?
As it happens, in 1884, a Euston Corindon King was named as the acting warden of Milparinka in northwestern New South Wales, not far from the expedition route. And 2 decades later, this Euston King rented a block of land on the same day and in the same area as Lycurgus Underdown, Eileen's father.
So we have on paper the two of them knowing each other. So all of those pieces for us work together to say there is a plausible relationship.
But can we conclusively say this tinderbox was used by the Burke and Wills expedition?
None of the evidence that we've looked at and tested and understood does anything to say it is not a Burke and Wills object. So I'm satisfied that this is very likely to have had a relationship with the Burke and Wills expedition. This cairn roughly marks the spot where the Burke and Wills expedition left from on the 20th of August 1860. The question is, why does this one matter? This is just a small brass cylinder in the end, but it has such extraordinary importance as a symbol of the expedition that had such cultural importance in the 1860s and right through to today. One of the things that does strike me is thinking about and imagining this site with the expedition, with all the people and all the equipment. Amongst all of this could well have been this tiny little tinder box. And for me, that's the real power of the object. We have some material link. This remarkable little tinder box has been on a huge journey, both culturally and geographically, into the museum's collection.